property is not just a legal concept, it's a currency that shares the journey from ideas to impact. Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to our respected principals, distinguished HOD, and esteemed faculty, dedicated students, coordinators, and our honored guests for today's enlightenment. I invite Piyush to present the sampling to honor the esteemed Dr. Sravanti Vedula.
Thank you, sir. Now, without further ado, let's turn our attention to the reason we all gathered today. It's my privilege to introduce our esteemed guest, Ms. Sravanti Vedula ma'am, a distinguished intellectual property professional with a wealth of experience. Ms. Sravanti Vedula ma'am, with an impressive 6-year track record in intellectual property, she currently serves as a senior officer of innovation management at ICRISAT.
I invite Piyush to present the sampling to honor the esteemed Dr. Sravanti Vedula.
Thank you, sir. Now, without further ado, let's turn our attention to the reason we all gathered today. It's my privilege to introduce our esteemed guest, Ms. Sravanti Vedula ma'am, a distinguished intellectual property professional with a wealth of experience. Ms. Sravanti Vedula ma'am, with an impressive 6-year track record in intellectual property, she currently serves as a senior officer of innovation management at ICRISAT. Sravanti ma'am has been instrumental in establishing ICRISAT Technology Innovation Support Center by WIPO. Showcasing her expertise in developing innovative operational models, her role extends to managing WIPO, TISC and MSME, IPFC and ICRISAT, where she enhances IP awareness and knowledge dissemination.
Now I invite Mercy to give a sampling of acknowledgement of esteemed presence of Associate Professor Dr. Sunita Rani ma'am.
Have this particular session here, no doubt. I don't know whether you attended any such sessions on ideation and as well as IPR. We as engineers, we are strong in technology. At least by the end of your BTech final year, obviously you may be excelling one or the multiple fields, no doubt about it. But we should also become good managers when you get into corporate. Otherwise, whatever the skill you have, you may not be able to rightly promote. So that's where you should also become good managers. So that means you should inculcate managerial skills also. However, the knowledge and skill, whatever you are gaining and you are utilizing in your career, you should also protect it. What does mean by protection of the knowledge? Means it is something like you will be transforming it into, say, some outcomes like publications, patents, or some registration of registered properties like some software. So there are different ways you will be really coming out with the outcomes of your knowledge. All such things will be protected only when you, say for example, you have done a lot of work in some cyber security area, let us say, or college mates or whomever it is, or your own relative also. If they try to copy, say you don't have any right to claim when you don't publish it. But once if it is published, it will be well regarded. Thus, at any point of time, if somebody copies your idea or your work, or part of your work also without your permission, you will have the right even to legally fight. However, there are many legalities into this legal aspects. So we should at least have some broad idea. No need to, totally understand the ABCD of this, but at least as in our college days, we would have never heard about that word protection of intellectual property at all. But you are very fortunate here. Nowadays, technology is evolving very fast, and even ideation also. I could see in the form of that innovation project lab, one or the other platform, you are all coming out with the new project innovations or product innovations. You will have right whenever again when you want to work on its extension, modification, whatever the form. See, you will have right to work out on that. Otherwise, somebody else will simply copy that one. Even for book also. See, when I publish a book, I reserve the copyrights. So that others should not copy either total content or part of it, that content of the book. So this is how our intellectual property can be really preserved and protected. So hope, I think today's session will be enlightening session in this direction. However, I just raised one doubt. Madam, just now she was telling, everybody thinks that ICRISAT is related only with agriculture, but it is not truly. Either it is agriculture or whether it is a medicinal field or any kind of say day-to-day avenue of human life without engineering. Towards congratulating Dr. Satyasundaram sir and his team, especially his Department of Cyber. I also bless you. Madam was telling just one word. I am very happy about that. Whenever I came across the sample teacher and sample students who welcomed me, they are all so sober and so receptive and so obedient. I told it is not one or two samples. Across the campus, I really challenge if somebody, if you ask about the college, every one of my students, they feel it's a family, not just a college. Is it true or not? Thank you. Really, I am proud of you. Keep it up. Thank you.
To inviting Honorable Principal of CMR Engineering College, Dr. A.S. Reddy sir, Honorable today's expert speaker, Sravanti Vedula, Senior Officer of ICRISAT, and organizer of today's program, my dear students. Very good morning to all.
Good morning, sir.
And today you are going to learn new topics actually. So already our Honorable Principal sir has given the introductions about the form of the programs. So by using algorithm techniques, any tools, any devices you are going to implement. So after that, you should have the security. Without security, you cannot protect, because anybody can hack or anybody can steal your data. So you should go for the rights. That's called the property rights. So any inventor or any innovator can have the rights for their design, their analysis, their tools or their products. It may be in the form of the different type of something, like a trademarks. It's depending upon the industry or applications. It may be trademarks, it may be patents, it may be copyrights like that. So each and every inventor.
Discussing about this topic, I'm not expecting that whatever I'm talking 100% you will be able to absorb it. I'll be happy if you will be able to absorb even 10% of what I'm speaking today. Okay? So intellectual property rights for innovators. Can you just tell me what IP is? Intellectual property. Intellect. Something that's there in your mind. Your own intelligence. Okay? When you create something out of your own intelligence, okay, it is called, and it is coming out of as a property. Property is nothing but something you own, right? So something that you own because of your intellect. So you have created something out of your intellect, out of your intelligence. The outcome is nothing but an intellectual property. Okay? Now imagine you own house property. You own a house. What you can do if you own a house? Sell. Next. Rent, yes. Lease, yes. This row is completely silent. I'm asking a very basic question. You have a house. What can you do with your house? Invest, yes. Loans, yes. What? Okay, you can either rent it, okay, either you can sell it, you can lease it, you can mortgage it, you can take a loan, right? What you can do with a house property, you can do with intellectual property as well. While house property is a fixed asset, which comes down to a real estate, intellectual property is something that has been created based on your intelligence. And when you are an owner of that particular technology or the intellectual asset that is being created, you can also sell it, you can also rent it, you can mortgage it, you can take loans. All this is possible with intellectual property as well. It's just the subject matter is different for a house property and intellectual property. Okay, the basic underlying concept is this with intellectual property. Whatever you can do with your house property, you can do with intellectual property as well. Okay, I did break it down to a very simple thing, right? You don't have to think of like what is intellectual property. It's a legal concept. I am an engineer. Why do I have to know about it? No, it's a very common concept that you see in the human mind, which is the intellect, that have commercial value. Always remember, IP is as much as it is a legal tool, business, scientific tool, but it's also a monetary tool. When you hold an IP right, okay, it gains some commercial value. It's the same thing, right? When you are buying a house property, when you own it, the underlying concept is it has a commercial value to it. It's the same. IP also has a commercial value, which means that you should always, aim to develop some intellectual asset or some technology, or bring out with, some kind of intellectual output which has some commercial value. Okay. At the end, when you're trying to commercialize it, some monetary value has to be retained. So different types of intellectual property rights, patents, trademarks, copyrights, industrial designs, geographical indications. I'll try to explain each type of the IP. Whenever I talk about IP, many people just get confused that IP is nothing but patent. But other than patent, there are so many other IPs also, which I will try to clarify each of it. The underlying concept, the underlying subject matter is different for different kinds of IP. Okay, and I'll try to relate it with the examples that you see on a for patents, there needs to be a component of science involved in it. Okay, like for example, you can take this mouse monitor. Can somebody tell me what is the technology? Some technology or technical concept. Be loud. Fine, I'll make for the sensor. So any product, when there is a science component involved in it, that becomes the subject matter for getting a patent grant. Or the utility is very important, that a technology has to be, useful enough. Nothing that you bring up some frivolous invention. I am trying to show you examples of what can be a frivolous invention also. So you understand that some inventions, frugal inventions, they're pretty useful, they're pretty novel, but they probably cannot fulfill some of the criteria. For a patent to be granted, these three criteria is very important: novel, non-obvious, and utility. So until unless all this criteria is met, you cannot make, and everybody is free to use. Okay? So whatever commercial benefits that you want to reap, you need to reap between 5 to 20 years of this patent validity. Okay? So whether you want to rent the technology, whether you want to rent the patent, whether you want to lease the patent, whether you want to sell off the patent, all this needs to be done within 20 years. After 20 years, it comes into the public domain. It's a negative right. Why is it a negative right? Just somebody apply some form. some technologies which are in pharma field, for example, medicines and drugs. So they take lot of years to develop and come into the market because there are so many regulatory approvals that need to be. No, right? But today it's the era of e-dating. There's a technology involved in it, right? So maybe this guy also was very futuristic. In 2007 he applied. 2007 he saw that maybe in the coming years I can propose for marriage using technology. Patent in 1999, and this is a US patent. This is a patent number. Synonymous to a water brand, right? So try to come up with trademarks or brand names which are abstract, which are not generic, so that laptops తీసుకుంటే కూడా Lenovo, Dell, did any of these names have a meaning? Your literary works, your paintings, your songs, movies. Chala, the film industry is thriving on the copyrights. Okay, the software programs that you write is the subject matter of a copyright. It can't be patented because in Indian patent law, softwares cannot be patented. Okay.
Have made this event a truly successful session. I would also like to extend gratitude to all the students who took charge of capturing audio and video elements, and a special